This episode of Rick and Rick Rule the World is brought to you by Taskin, the first name in ultra stylish, premium quality travel gear, like the exquisitely designed Taskin One expandable backpack. With 9 practical variations, the Taskin One is always the right size for wherever life takes you next. Save 30% on your next purchase when you use the promo code R&R Take 30. That's R&R Take 30 at taskinsf.com.
Next up on an all-new Rick and Rick.
The future wants you to fight in a war against giant alien termites.
Oh man. Here are the irresistible pickup lines created by AI.
Dove's Courage is Beautiful wins big at Cannes.
Plus, the UK bans junk food advertising before 9 p.m., loaded questions, and a whole lot more.
And it all starts right here, right now.
On the one show where everything ricks to your ribs.
And everybody rules the world.
Hey, welcome one and all to an all-new episode of Rick and Rick Rule the World, the show with plenty of news and views on the worlds of marketing, media, tech, and pop culture. I'm Rick Matheson, and I am joined, as always, by my good pal, Marcel Marceau. Rick Wooten. How you doing, Rick?
I'm doing well. Happy 4th of July, by the way.
Yeah, happy 4th of July weekend. So, I don't know about you, but I have not seen or heard anything about there being fireworks anywhere, and I hope that's the case. Pretty much in the American West, where everything's like a tinderbox.
Yeah, I've heard of a couple places doing it, but it's usually coastal and a very wet area. Right now, everything in California is so dry that everybody's very, very worried about doing fireworks at all.
Understandably so. I had to go to the supermarket today, which... a couple things happen, Rick, pretty reliably. If it's Christmas Eve, I'm going to have to go to the supermarket for some reason. If it's Thanksgiving or the day before Thanksgiving, I'm going to end up at the supermarket. And on the 4th of July, I'll be at the supermarket. Without fail, I end up somehow, some way having to go and deal with just chaos.
That's pretty funny. So what did you have to go to the supermarket for today? Like the... hamburgers and hot dogs, or was it just something minor?
Yeah, no, well, both. So, yeah, the hamburgers, hot dogs kind of thing, chips, stuff like that. Get all the way home before I realized that I'd forgotten the taco sauce for the chips. So I had to go all the way back just for one item. I was very happy. I was in a very good mood. There was no cussing involved.
Well, as luck would have it, I ended up spending my afternoon in the grocery store as well. I kind of put off getting everything for the 4th of July, so it was definitely a little crowded, and I also managed to get out without cussing, so it turned out okay.
Always a good thing. Pretty much getting out of the supermarket any day without cussing is pretty good for me. Very unusual. As you know, I don't like to shop at all, but supermarkets on any kind of busy day are definitely not my thing. One thing that we want to do, folks, is we want to dispel something right up front in this episode, folks. So despite what you may have heard or read in the news, Rick and Rick have opted not to be added to the cast of Knives Out 2. Repeat, we are not joining the cast of Knives Out 2, unlike virtually every actor in Hollywood, but we just wanted to make sure everyone knew that, so just wanted to dispel that myth right up front.
I haven't actually seen the first one. Have you seen it?
No, I haven't. It's supposed to be really good, and this sequel, apparently there are announcements every day that there's some big-name actor joining the cast, so apparently we were in the mix of rumors out there. Wanted to make sure that everybody knew that that was not the case.
Oh, yeah. Nice.
What is the case, though, is that every episode we kick off with some pop culture geekiness, the type of things that are hitting Rick and Rick's radar, followed by a segment we call The Good, the Bad, and the Marketing, and we finish it all off with a round of Rick and Rick loaded questions to test your knowledge of news and trends in marketing, media, tech, and pop culture. And first up, as always, is Rick and Rick Radar Love, starting with Tomorrow War. Did you watch this, Rick?
No, I was pretty tired last night, so I started watching it. I got about a half hour into it and realized I wasn't absorbing anything, so I went ahead and hit pause so I could really enjoy it. But the 30 minutes I saw, I thought were actually pretty good. This has been one that it seems like it's a polarizing show. You've got, one set of critics who are pretty negative on it, but then you have people, the individuals who've seen it, who seem to be very positive on it. Even our longtime listener Eric texted me earlier today and said, "Hey man, that was a really good movie. I just finished watching it." So I'm super excited to watch it. Now, I think you said you did, right?
I did see it, and I'm in Eric's camp there. I've seen a lot of the negative reviews for it. I just flipped it on, and it is a really fun movie. For folks who aren't yet dialed into this, Tomorrow War is an Amazon Prime original starring Chris Pratt from Jurassic World and Yvonne Strahovski, hope I'm saying that right, known in our house as the chick from Chuck, J.K. Simmons, and others, and it's directed by Chris McKay. Now, this is interesting, Rick. He directed the Lego movie and the Batman Lego movie and other sort of animated stuff. This is his first live-action feature, and
nice.
Despite these mixed reviews, I thought it was plenty dumb, but also like a total blast. Basically, 30 years from now, Earth is invaded by giant alien termites who've wiped out nearly all of mankind. I think they said there are only 500,000 people left. So the future goes back in time to recruit people to fight this future war, including Chris Pratt, who plays an Iraq war veteran / science teacher. I think he's high school science teacher.
Right.
I felt like it was a kind of a genre mashup of movies like Aliens, Starship Troopers, and that Tom Cruise one, the shampoo, rinse, repeat movie. What was it? Edge of Tomorrow? And others.
Yeah.
Now, it is a movie that if you think about it at all, it falls apart, but I thought it was a lot of fun. Now, I don't know if you got to the part where we see Chris Pratt's character go meet his dad.
No, so here's where I got to. I got to the part where Chris Pratt had, by the way, spoiler alert, got to the part where Chris Pratt had not got the science teacher job because apparently that was his dream job, which is pretty sad. And he had just thrown away a card that his father had sent. And then somebody was contacting him. So I have a feeling it's the setup for heading in that direction.
Yeah, his father is played by J.K. Simmons. So dude is in like everything. He's the Commissioner Gordon in the DC movies. He's J. Jonah Jameson in the Marvel movies. And he's like 62 or 63 years old. Well, wait till you see him, Rick.
Yeah.
He is jacked. The guy is just muscle bound. In fact, there was questions of whether it was CGI, but apparently it's not. He just got ripped all of a sudden.
I heard that.
It's amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah. But it's a fun movie, and
That's
It's
awesome.
action-packed. There's some humor in it, and there's definitely a very strong emotional component to it that I felt like it worked. Maybe I'm sappy enough. Anyone who has children, for sure. Anyone with a heartbeat, for sure, will like the story.
That's cool. So
I would say watch it, and I want to review it for real once you've seen it.
okay, then I'll hold my next question, which is going to be what would you rate it? But let's save that for the review.
Yeah, let's save that. Yeah. Besides, you know how it is. Normally, the longer I sit with something, the lower the grade gets.
That's awesome.
So watch it fast.
Yeah, the Tomorrow War, as I said, it's been really interesting. It's been really polarizing, and some of the critics have really kind of gone after it, calling it garbage pizza or Starship Troopers for dummies, and so it's really aggressive. However, when the audience itself has reviewed it, so critics, are like 53% is their score, but the people, the actual end users watching it, have rated it as a positive 80%. So that's a really big delta between the two. It's not often it's that much.
Yeah. No, I kind of went in with very low. Maybe that's what played into me liking it so much. But I saw the negative reviews, and like I said, it's plenty dumb. And if you think about it at all, it starts to fall apart. But watching it, I was pulled right in. It felt like almost a throwback movie. Independence Day might be another movie mixed in there. It's kind of got the tone of that movie. It's derivative as hell, but I had a total blast watching it, and I'd probably watch it again.
That's cool.
What I would definitely do is stay tuned after this break, because when we get back, it's going to be time for the good, the bad, and the marketing. So don't go anywhere. Hey, Rick and Rick Nation, don't forget to check out our website at rickandrick.com. It's double the Rick in just one click at rickandrick.com. And welcome back to Rick and Rick Rule the World with Rick Matheson and Rick Wooten. Before we continue, we want to remind listeners that you can subscribe to Rick and Rick Rule the World on iTunes, Amazon Music, Spotify, or wherever you get your podcasts. And between now and our next episode, Rick and Rick will donate $10 for every 5-star review we receive on iTunes, up to $50, to Feeding America. It's a nonprofit that helps food insecure families in the U.S. So take you 5 seconds to do this. You can do Rick and Rick a solid by giving us a 5-star review on iTunes and help raise money to help food insecure neighbors in need. All right, it is time for the good, the bad, and the marketing, starting with Dove's Courage is Beautiful, one of the Grand Prix winners at this year's Cannes Lions Advertising Festival. And I looked this up, Rick. The campaign started back in 2004. I knew it was nearly 2 decades old. For anyone familiar with this, it's Unilever's Dove brand. It's a worldwide effort to promote self-confidence in women and girls worldwide by, among many other things, foregoing the use of stereotypically, stick-thin models and instead celebrating real women in every shape, size, and age they come in. Well, at this year's Cannes Lions Advertising Festival, Dove won a whole new set of awards. It's won multiple Cannes Awards and Grand Prix before. I think I read this in Campaign. I know saw it in Adweek and Ad Age, but apparently last spring, as everything was shutting down, Dove marketers were flummoxed when they realized that even their positive beauty messages pretty much irrelevant in the face of everything going on at that time. So it switched up the game plan and used the campaign to celebrate the strength and determination of frontline workers. It shows, part of it with posters where frontline workers, you could see the marks on their face from their face masks or other PPE equipment, along with a revised tagline. It said, "Courage is beautiful." The campaign features real doctors and nurses, both women and men. Another brilliant purpose marketing campaign here. This was a nicely done, tone-appropriate campaign. Big kudos to them. They won like 2 golds and a Grand Prix for this.
Oh, that's awesome. I didn't realize they'd won that much. It's a really cool campaign. I really appreciate that they're highlighting the people who were on the front line and dealing with this. And, they particularly have the one image, and you could see it was a healthcare worker, and she'd been wearing a mask so long that the entire bridge of her nose was bruised. And, you could see a bruise line all along where the mask kind of meets her cheeks as well. I think that's really awesome. A lot of people put it out there to try and make sure that we were all safe during this pandemic, and I applaud them for recognizing that, and then focusing on the fact that these are women, they're gorgeous in their own way, out there trying to save us.
Yeah, it was a really spectacular campaign. And there that seemed to be a thread this year, maybe not surprisingly, in a lot of the Cannes winners. And we'll touch on other ones in upcoming episodes as well. But I saw this one and I want to make sure that we made note of it because I thought it was exceptional. What's also exceptional is that the UK is banning junk food advertising online completely, but even from television before 9 p.m.? Wow.
Yeah, I thought this was kind of a trip. I mean, from a couple of perspectives. One, I like that they took a stance and said, yeah, we're going to say that fast food is bad for you, so we're going to do something about it. But on the flip side, is like, why 9 p.m.? Because like is it just that the people have munchies after 9 and they knew they would lose? I mean, like, what is this mythical 9 p.m. that they picked?
Yeah, that is interesting. It felt like one of those compromises where it's like, okay, you can't do it at all, and then there's a negotiation. Okay, after 9 p.m. when people are most likely to go buy the food and get fat, you can do it then.
I suppose I suppose I could see that maybe they're doing it because of children, right? Because
Right.
they're presuming that children have gone after bed after 9, and so therefore they're just advertising to adults.
Yes.
I could see that, except there's one huge flaw in that. If you have kids, they're never watching TV. They're on their iPad, their phone, or whatever, watching YouTube. So
Yeah.
I think just by saying you can advertise on TV means the kids will never see it anyways.
Yeah, that's true. And the ban is for online, so they're supposedly not going to see these advertisements on YouTube or anywhere else. Maybe their obesity crisis rivals even the U.S., as hard as that might be to believe. I don't know. That's millions in the U.S. it would be billions, but millions of dollars in advertising that's not going to be going to these media outlets. It's a big hit for the industry in that country.
Well, the article, they were just looking across, I think it was 3 different networks. It was Channel 4, Channel 5, and Sky. Yeah, and they said that just that alone was $200 million in ad revenue.
Yeah. That is significant for that market. I mean, here, if there were a national ban, it would be a lot more than $200 million, I bet. I mean, it seems like if I watch TV, it's like every commercial break seems to have a fast food commercial on it.
Well, yeah, I mean, the other piece of research that was in this, and by the way, it's from theguardian.com, was that children under 16 were exposed to 15 billion junk food ads online in 2019,
Yeah.
compared to 700 million 2 years earlier. Now, like those numbers are so abstract. It's kind of hard to understand what that means. But to your point, it seems like it's constant. Like it's just a
Mm-hmm.
constant thing of, whether it's chips or drinks or fast food restaurants. It's like a constant flood of advertising.
It'll be interesting to see how or if it's effective in the UK, if the advertising for junk food on television not being before 9 p.m. puts a big dent of any kind in obesity rates. To me, just because we're in advertising, if we were presented with this challenge, our creativity engines would go on. We'd find clever new ways to reach our target audience to
Yeah, it's
sell our
true.
goods. So in one way, it'll be a creative challenge. And the UK, they easily rival the US in terms of advertising. They're going to find different ways to reach these people. So we'll see if it has a big impact over the years. I don't know. An interesting experiment.